lovelies. I locked in this past weekend and just put my headphones in and started just tackling box by box. I feel so much better now that I'm not bumping into boxes. It's not like a maze in here anymore. And pretty much at this point, the only thing that I need to do is decorate. So I was hoping to kind of take you guys along with that process, because once I started unpacking the boxes, I was like, you guys don't want to see this. Let's focus on the fun part, the fun part of decorating. And I haven't gotten any new decorations since I moved in here. I actually did a very deep declutter before I left Florida. And so I am curious to see how I'm going to kind of set everything up here. So you're going to probably see kind of my mental process in that. Before I get into that though, I really desperately need to go grocery shopping. Now that my kitchen is unpacked, I can actually cook meals. I have been, again, living off of microwave meals and cereal and peanut butter and jelly for the past few weeks, and I am just ready to have like a nice actual meal. And so I need to run out to the store. I want to check out the local Trader Joe's. I don't want to make it seem like I've never been in a Trader Joe's before. It's just that back where I lived in Florida, there was only one in kind of a very large radius of where I lived. And of course, they picked the most small nightmare fuel parking lot to have with the Trader Joe's. So if you wanted to, one, there was only one in the whole area. And two, you had to then fight for your life in the parking lot to find a parking space. And that just wasn't the vibe for me. So it kind of took the interest out of Trader Joe's when I lived in Florida, but around here, they're much more abundant. I poked into another local one that's a little bit further out, and that's when I realized maybe I can do this. Maybe this is where I kind of start out because it's less strenuous on my mental energy, especially with all of the other mental energy that I'm expending with kind of getting settled here. And yeah, so I am excited to try it out for my first like big grocery haul. I even compared prices to what I had purchased at other like local grocery stores, and the prices were all very comparable, if not cheaper, at Trader Joe's. I didn't really find anything that was more expensive. And again, I think that's just the Aldi situation where everything is store brand, everything is their brand. They don't have to upcharge it to make money off of something that already is expensive from a brand. So I am going to try that out today. So I'm gonna maybe grab a couple clips while I'm out. I'm still like a little nervous about recording out in the wild, but I will try to snag a couple clipsies for you. And then when we get back from Trader Joe's and unpack everything, I am going to start trying to figure out how to put things on the wall and start decorating so I can get kind of the last of the chaos mess that's still kind of hanging around off the table, off the floors, and you can kind of see what options I have. So let's go. I made it back from Trader Joe's in one piece. I Was expecting it to be a lot less busy because it was midday on a Monday when I went, and everybody and their mothers were there. Like, it was a Sunday. And so I felt a little more overwhelmed than what I was expecting because I wanted to kind of browse a little bit more. I wanted to really take a look at everything, see what kind of stuff that they have. Because again, I've never like fully shopped there. The couple times that I have been in a Trader Joe's here, I've like stopped in for a couple snacks or like a quick, like, again, microwave meal or something if I happen to be nearby. So it was a little hard because I was browsing and stuff like that, and the people that were in there were like, they wanted to get in and out. They were like, I know exactly what I want, like, get out of my way. It was just not the vibe. It was a little bit more difficult than what I was expecting, but I did really like the selection that they had. I I guess because again, I've never fully grocery shopped there and like looked at all the aisles and the items, is that there was a lot of selection of like different international foods. Like, I don't know how authentic that they are, but like, there was just a lot of options. And so I was able to go through and say like, okay, do I want dumplings, or do I want a pizza, or do I want a salad kit? And there were a lot of options to choose from, but it was basically like, do you want this flavor? Do you want this variety? It wasn't like, here's the same pepperoni pizza, but we're going to give you 7 different brands to choose from. It's like, here's one pepperoni pizza. You like it or you don't. And so I really did appreciate that. And it actually wasn't that bad. I was kind of comparing to what I usually shopped at Walmart back in Florida. I mean, granted, they don't really have like household items there. So it's hard to compare because before I would shop at Walmart and I would also get like my household non-food items while I was also there. So I don't know. I guess I'd have to compare just the food items, but it wasn't bad. I walked out of there with like a full pantry and all of the essentials and stuff that I was missing that I didn't bring with me, and enough meals to probably carry me through the next like couple weeks. And it was $150. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I wanted to start here in the kitchen mainly because I'm essentially going to be mirroring the same design of pictures that I had in my dining room at my last apartment. And I'll pop in like a reference picture here so you can see kind of what I am intending to do with it here in the kitchen. But I thought it would be a great idea to do it in the kitchen here because my cabinets are all black. And so the theme is like very spooky. I'm a spooky gal. Halloween's my favorite holiday. The one thing I am very sad about of not being in Florida anymore is that I have been going to Halloween Horror Nights since I was a freshman in high school. And so I'm not even going to try to do the math of how long ago that was, but I've been every year since. And the past few years, I've actually done the frequent fear pass, which means you can go multiple times. And I think so me, my sister, and sister-in-law are kind of the core group that would go the past few years. And I think we hit 7 times in a season, one time, 6 or 7. Which is a lot for the fact that like working a full-time job and kind of balancing all of that stuff. And Universal wasn't super close. It was about 30-40 minutes away depending on traffic. I'm going to miss it. But anyway, I will get off this tangent. I apologize if the lighting of this shot that we're doing is dark, but the bad thing about this apartment is that all of the big lights in this apartment are can lights. And so I can't make them dimmable. So in my last apartment, I had the ability to kind of like take the bulbs out and replace them. And so I had replaced a lot of my bulbs with IKEA dimmable bulbs. and that was amazing. So I could still kind of use the big light, but I could make the big light a smaller, more manageable light. And unfortunately, these lights that are in my kitchen are the brightest white possible, and it just makes me nauseous. If this is a little dark, I do have kind of the overhead can lights in like my hallway and over here on, so hopefully it's not too dark. But if it is, then just know that I'm just like a cave goblin that just crouches in the darkness and nobody can turn the big light on me. So I am pretty content with how the kitchen turned out. I skewed a little bit from the original picture just because I have a little bit more wall space to cover in the kitchen there, and I like it. I love those little bats. They're my favorite. My original plan was to tackle the space above the couch next. But as you can tell, we have a sweet, darling angel, sleepy, dreamy baby on the couch right now, and I would never disturb her. So I am going to actually flip you guys around and try to figure out what I want to do with the wall space above the TV. So let's see what we got going on over here. Can you see me? So what I was thinking for above the TV is I have this picture right here that I used to have up in my bedroom. My bedroom is really green and pink tones. And so this one definitely has kind of the like pink accents in it. But I also have so many other pictures that I have to put in my bedroom that are more pink. And I have a little bit less wall space in this apartment because one of my entire walls is just windows. And then the other wall is pretty much my closet doors. So I really only have the walls above my bed and then the wall opposite of my bed, which I am actually getting a dresser delivered on Wednesday, and I haven't had a dresser in a couple years because the past couple apartments that I've been in have had like pretty large walk-in closets. So I've had some like lower shelving in there, and I've just had like little bins that I keep like socks, underwear, bras, yada yada, swimsuits in kind of those bins instead of getting a dresser. But I have much more limited closet space in this bedroom here. My bedroom just generally is smaller. But anyway, I have this picture and I'm thinking about putting it above the TV in here. And because before I had a kind of oval picture that has butterflies on it that has been above my TV for the past couple years. And I'm actually thinking about moving that above my couch. So kind of flipping walls because I have these picture shelves that I just use as I just flip them over. and use them as regular shelves. That I have a couple Lego bugs that I love displaying. As you can tell, I really lean into the nature theme. Maybe it's the Taurus in me, but I love greens and natural tones and anything nature related. So you'll probably see that come through in a lot of my decor. And I have an entire desk over there full of fake plants. It makes me very sad that I have to have fake plants instead of real plants, but Pip is a menace and she will tear apart, eat through, knock over any real plants that I've ever tried to bring into my home. So it's fake plants for us. So I want to try to put this above there. I'm a little concerned because the shade of the wood is a little lighter than the shade of the wood of my TV stand here, but I think it'll be okay. I was thinking this above the TV, and then I have these like little bottles, sconce, fake plant things that, again, I've had for, I don't know, like 10 years. And again, this is another different wood tone, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to use the things that I already have before I embark on bringing anything new into my home. So I'm going to put them up, next to the TV, right next to the door that goes out to my balcony. And then I also have a clock here, which again, I've had for so many years. I got this at Aldi, actually. I got this at Aldi, again, like 10 years ago. And it's so cute. It's like a little reflective sun clock. And I love to have an analog clock somewhere in my home, just so I don't have to always constantly be looking at my phone or looking at the like microwave and stuff like that. For that, I can always kind of look up and do that. So I think there's a space that I could probably put that there. So let's see if this all works out the way it is ruminating in my brain right now. Hey there. So I was a silly goose and didn't realize that my phone battery was so low. So my phone died while I was hanging up the second shelf over here. And I decided to do them staggered because it just is so hard to get them on the exact same level, especially when you're trying to base it around an oval shaped picture, because the kind of variance in the distance and everything like that is so difficult to get right. And because I have to drill holes in the wall, I didn't want to have to redo it if I didn't get it exactly right and it was going to bother me. So I have them staggered right now. I'm not sure I think I might have put it too tall on the wall because I have pretty tall ceilings. So now it just feels like there's this huge gap between that and the couch. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to end up having to put like something else below it to kind of fill the gap in the space because it just feels very empty now. But for now, we're going to take it as it is because again, I drilled screws into the wall so far. So we're going to be okay with it. But I do have a couple Lego sets, a mantis and a butterfly that went on these shelves. So I'm going to try to rebuild those really quick. Okay, so I may have had a little mini meltdown over the fact that I hung the butterfly and shelves a little too tall for it to be above my couch. And I felt like there was all this empty space. And so I locked in for the past probably hour and a half trying many variations of different pictures and things that I had already on hand. And this is the current product. I am pretty pleased with how this came out. I am challenging myself to use different color schemes and different picture frames and things like that. It's not like a true gallery wall because like usually those are much tighter together, but like you'll see that this frame right here is black and then there's browns, some like goldish brass, brown, dark brown, whereas the shelves and the picture are black. And so the previous me would have said everything on this wall has to be black in order for it to go together. And I just tried to get out of my comfort zone and try something new. So I'm really pleased with how it came out. I am excited to potentially add to it in the future, maybe mix it up, maybe get some other little tiny shelves for like little knickknacks for the like in between parts because I don't want it to be too busy. I really had to fight myself because it felt really busy at some points in the process that I was working on it. But I think this is a good start. So I am going to relax with my doodlebug here on the couch for the rest of the evening, and maybe we will pick this up tomorrow and try to tackle my bedroom. But Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good morning, lovelies. It is the next morning, and I woke up and looked at this wall, and I was so proud of myself for getting out of my comfort zone, for trying something new, because especially even when you look at it from like another vantage point, like if you are in the kitchen, like when I was making myself breakfast this morning, it just, I don't know, it just like really captures the mood of being here and trying new things and trying to make my apartment and my living space a little bit more funky, more eclectic. And so I am just really excited for it and excited to see what comes of it. If I like end up changing it up, changing out what pictures or anything up there, adding more to it as I go. So, one thing, fit check. I am just still astounded with how it is late June, like it's the last day of June today, and it is 58 degrees right now. And oh, it's so good. And actually, right before I left Florida, one of my friends, for her birthday, we went thrifting for most of the day. And I ended up thrifting this like kind of like cozy, soft flannel. And when we were thrifting, again, it was so hot there. And everybody who was there was like, "You're never going to be able to wear that. I'm going to eat your words." Because now it's June and I can wear it. And so, oh, it feels so good. I tried my best with the clothes that I have on hand to put something together to go out in the world. And do I like look like a Portlandian yet? I know I'm wearing like leggings and stuff right now. I don't really have a lot of pants options right now, especially because, again, I think I mentioned this. I went through another appointment for my tattoo removal the other day, and for the first like week or so after that, you're supposed to wear like loose clothing. I can't wear anything super skin tight or anything like that. So it's really difficult to wear like jeans or anything until I'm like a little less sore and swollen on my back. So that's why I'm wearing like really stretchy leggings instead. But I don't know. I'm like, and I also got these boots. I don't know if you can see them. Oh, I just cracked my back. I also got these boots back in Florida, and again, rarely had the occasion where it wasn't boiling hot enough to where my feet were like immediately sweating in them. So I'm going to try them out, my kicks. So that's the fit. I'm again going makeupless. Going to continue this ride. I did add a little earring, just to zhuzh it up, especially because I put my hair up. I was actually thinking about it when I was putting my hair up in the bathroom. I was like, "Oh, I wish I was brave enough to like shave my head." Because I just, as you'll probably notice as I keep making videos, is that I'll have my hair down for maybe like a an hour or two, and then I'll be like, I just need it out of my face. Like I'd love to be the girly that has bangs, because I feel like it would help my face a little bit. Not help my face. There's nothing wrong with my face, but I have a very like square face. I'm gonna call out my sister in this really quick, because my sister, her face is like more of an oval shape. And so one day, this is many years ago, but obviously I'm still traumatized by it. She said that her face is like a grape and my face is like a squished grape. So yeah, that's how I view my face now, that it's just very boxy. And obviously I can't do anything about it. Like that's just how my jaw is set and everything like that. But it makes it a little bit more difficult to kind of style things around my face because I guess that's just society telling us, oh, your face has to look slim, it has to look long, it has to look like you have to have a really like pointed like chin and really like be able to show off those angles. And there's like no way I can do that with my face. It's literally like box, another box. So that was a tangent. The plan that I have for today, which is why I got dressed up, is that I actually just selected a P.O. box at a local post office because I do have some pen pals that I write to in a community that I'm a part of. Shout out to the Meadow. And also shout out to Vic in the Meadow. If you aren't already watching her, check her out. She has a podcast. She has a YouTube. She has a TikTok and Instagram as well. I'm not on TikTok or Instagram, but I know she posts there regularly as well. So, I mean, I'm sure most of you who are watching this right now are also part of the Meadow, but if you're not, check her out. So I'm going to go out, take care of that, go out in the wild. So that's why I'm all zhuzhed up. Yeah, you know. And then I might also, while I'm out, kind of check out some options for under cabinet lighting in my kitchen. I was thinking more about that after I recorded that bit yesterday about how I could cultivate a better lighting situation in the kitchen. I think I'm going to tackle one last wall in my bedroom before we wrap this thing up is the wall above my bed. I want to decorate and I know exactly what I want to do. It's the same thing that I've done above my bed for, again, the past couple years. So I'm just going to put that stuff up, but I'm going to wait to decorate anything on the opposite wall of my bed because I am getting a dresser delivered tomorrow and I want to put that together and then get a smaller TV to put on top of that and then kind of see what space I have left because I don't want to start hanging stuff up with the assumption that it's going to be okay. And then I get the dresser up, get the TV up, and then it feels like very crowded and tight over there. So I kind of want to play around with that more once I get the dresser up. So I'm going to wait on that piece. So we're going to do above the bed. And then I guess maybe we can also tackle the bathroom. I have a couple pictures that I usually put up in the bathroom that are very colorful. And so maybe we'll do that as well. But I'm going to stop yapping and let's go to the post office. Because the cool kids go to the post office. The cool kids use their post mailing system. The cool kids use snail mail. Okay, I spent some time trying to figure out how I wanted to decorate my bathroom, and I decided not to record the process just because my bathroom is pretty small. I mean, like, this is the door right here. So there was just no like good way for me to angle it while I was trying to figure it all out. But again, this is all stuff I already had. So I kind of decided to kind of putz around, work with shapes, work with kind of staggering some stuff. And then I'm going to try to dip out of the frame. I'm a little ragged at this point. But this is how I kind of set up my bathroom counter. I usually have some sort of a plant, a fake plant, because again, I can't trust Pip with any real plants. But if I do happen to have drawers, which I'm so glad in this apartment I do, in my last one I didn't, so I had to kind of have everything on the counter. So I like having a kind of clear, clean counter as much as I can. So this is what I was able to do. The other day I found this like beautiful little like crystal dish that's kind of like, it's hard to tell with the frame, but it's kind of like scalloped and kind of folded. And so for all of my earrings, I basically have hung them on like the scalloped edges just in this little dish. And I just think it's so cute. So that's how I did my bathroom. That's how it ended up. This is just kind of a starting point. I wanted to show you what I was able to do with the under cabinet lighting. So I went to Home Depot and I found these under cabinet lights that just like stick to the bottom of the cabinets, and they're rechargeable. So if they die, like I'm just gonna have to charge them again, but I just didn't want to have to deal with cords or anything like that. And the middle part where my stove is, that's just my microwave light. But yeah, I really like them. They have like 5 or 6 different settings in terms of the like warmth of the light. So I put it on the warmest possible because why not? Oh, I'm realizing in this frame that I'm also admitting how late it is right now. I've just been like locking in, really focusing. So yeah, here. Here's Pip, the proximity cat, who also has to be right next to me when I'm doing anything. And then I also wanted to show, again, it's very dark. I apologize, but you couldn't, at almost 11 p.m., you couldn't force me to turn these big lights on. But I ended up getting a new piece of artwork when I was out putzing around. Oh, it is hard because the reflection, maybe. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it better that way. But it just looks like a little tarot card with a little skeleton and a couple black cats, and it's labeled the introvert, which is definitely me. So I definitely, sorry, I'm trying not to step on Pip as I step back. But I kind of rearranged. I put that one where the little piece skelly was and then moved that over. So I actually like how this came out, and it definitely fills up the wall a little bit more. So yeah, I am gonna wrap it up here. I might film like a little outro tomorrow morning, but we'll see. If not, then thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.